was drawn to the Enneagram when I was introduced to it 8 years ago by a coach who was hired to solve the Sue problem. And I knew nothing about this, is like the way I imagine myself operating is that I'm a freight train. I mean, you asked the question, Ben, how did you know you can do it? And my answer to that is, I can do anything fast and well. Like, that's the consciousness.
That's what it feels like.
There's no limit to what I could achieve.
Yeah.
So.
But you're like a little bitty thing. You're not that tall.
No, I always say I play bigger. So, so the way I think about it is, I've always, in my leadership in life and work, it's always been, well, I mean, Sue, she's amazing. I mean, you get her on our team and stuff gets done and it's incredible and so much force and passion and drive and people love working for her, blah, blah, blah. And now and then, you're gonna get burned. So it's this freight train that's spinning off these sparks and they land in people's eyes. And I always thought, well, that's just the trade-off. I mean, to your point, like, everybody could just relax, like, it's no big deal. I don't really feel the sparks, and I may see them, but if I got hit by a spark, I'd be fine. So what's wrong with y'all? So anyway, what's really shifted for me is this.
Wait, before the shift.
I don't want to talk about the shift. Okay, anyway. It's still bad.
I want to hear an example of the spark. Like, what did you say? What happened? Am I exasperating you?
No, I don't feel exasperated. I just feel like, God, the catalog of, at that moment, the reason there was a Sue problem is that I was working for an Enneagram 3, and he would just come in, and it was just, he would just like, I just had this amazing meeting, and it was 2 hours, and it was blah, 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 and I said this, and I did this, or he would introduce himself for 25 minutes in a meeting with 4 people, right? Oh my God. And so many times what I did with him is totally ignore his pleas for attention in such a way that it was an omission. But I knew every time I did it, it burned him. And I wanted to burn him. Because what a weak loser to need all this validation from me. I didn't even understand it. And it pained him every time.
Right. So it's like an intentional dismissal is what it feels like.
Yeah. Or you ask that one question that points out, you say something like, yeah, but could he really be a credible investor? I mean, you just spent 2 hours, but could he really be? And the answer I already knew was no. So I wanted to just totally sweep his legs out from under him, like, just so he knew you wasted that entire 2 hours, even though you felt so good about it. So even worse than not validating
You're like taking him out.
So easy, because you know everyone's buttons. Yeah. Like, I got you, buddy. And so you're just like, bing.
I'll kick your ass, and then I'll tell you I just kicked it. There won't even be any mystery about it, or I'll tell you in advance I'm going to do it.
You're not quite as subtle as she is.
No, I'm probably on one of the spectrum end of that.
So how do you know all of our buttons? What's up with that? How do you know our weaknesses?
We watch you like a hawk.
Uh-huh.